All right. It is time to structure our departments. Now, this is going to change the paradigm of how you think about your business, how you operate within your business, how you work on a day to day basis and have conversations within your business. Why? Because everything, all the tasks within your business fall within one of the five departments, the Triple S framework. So let's dive into the five core departments. But first, quick reminder, we set up that operational email, which you are now going to use to set up any and all future accounts that we are going to be setting up for your organization. We'll reference that in just a second, but keep that in mind. That is another paradigm shift that has just occurred, so don't miss it. All right. Let me rip this bad boy off in here. Alrighty. So the five main departments of the Triple S framework are as follows: sales, marketing, operations, and that's about the bottom of the page, aren't we? I'm gonna have to figure out something to do this. Make a second page for second part of these notes. Fulfillment is the fourth department in the Triple S framework. And finally, finance. And it's very easy to remember because the acronym's small. Now, you might have additional departments as well. For example, companies that leverage a large degree of sandbox creativity, experimentation, innovation might have a labs department. Companies that allocate a lot of resources towards product development might have a separate department. Most often, it's one of two cases. Those are both real examples, by the way. Most often, it's one of two cases where we get X departments. Either an existing organization starts working with the Triple S framework and they have a lot of something going on. It could be a separate product, a separate offer. And as it pertains to the day-to-day operations of that business, it's very useful to sometimes even temporarily allocate that until the resources get integrated into the larger. The other main reason is, like I just said, the other reason is more organic, which is when a sub-department within one of these core five departments becomes a very important resource multiplier for the organization. When that happens, and there's no set in stone threshold for revenue or ROI or anything here. It's just when it makes sense to start treating a sub-department as a separate department. As your organization grows, you almost likely, we see this with HR a lot within the fulfillment department. We see this with product development starting out as a sub-department in fulfillment. You know, if you're doing a lot of certification and training for salespeople, just an example, that could be a sub-department that emerges off of sales. So these are the core five. Other than that, speak to me if you feel that you have a very compelling argument for a sixth department for the framework. All right, so we're going to get fancy here. I'm going to fold this up. See, this is called being resourceful. This is called being efficient. Come on, get your hands dirty. All right, as a business operator, do what you got to do to get the point done, which is right now teach you something extremely important about scaling businesses to 8 figures, even though this looks a little bit messy. There are four main areas where we are going to deploy these departments every time, universally. And then almost every conversation in the business and about the business is going to pertain to stuff within these four areas, which are your resource directory, your Google Drive, your Dropbox, your Microsoft Drive, whatever it is. The first main folders in it are sales, marketing, operations, fulfillment, finance. So every resource, every tool, every SOP, every whatever, Google Doc, every spreadsheet, any resource or tool or file or digital collateral or print collateral that you have about your business for your business is going to go in one of these five folders in your resource directory. Second is the workflow, which we'll talk about in just a second. But that could be Google Chrome profile with a bookmarks bar. That could be a company intranet, whatever the main portal is for your team members to do their job. Example, Chrome bookmarks bar for all the employees with the folder sales, marketing, ops, fulfillment, finance, where all your links, all your bookmarks, you need to do your job. That is safe within your organization should be bookmarked and saved. Any tools and accounts that you're using, any subscriptions that you're paying for should be bookmarked and saved here. And a great instant gratification of this is no more sending links. Think about how much resources and energy you waste in your organization sending each other links back and forth, links to work, links to this, links to that. Put them in the bookmarks bar in the right department and say, hey, you can find the thing bookmarked under marketing, bookmarked under fulfillment. Like I said, everything we think about in our business is organized by these 5 core departments. Third, team communications. Whether it's Slack, whether it's email, whether you guys are still texting in a group chat, which you shouldn't be, your team communications should be organized and labeled by department. In other words, every single Slack channel that we set up for team communications, for organizations, has these 5 channels: sales, marketing, operations, fulfillment, finance. So anytime you go to talk to somebody about anything, you need help with a task, you want to assign a task, you have a question, you have an idea, whatever it is, you first are having to think about where does that fit in the company department-wise before you even initiate a conversation. That is extremely important benefit of the team comms. We all start thinking the same organized fashion, culture. And the fourth and final core place that you will always deploy your core departments is your task and project management. Whether it's ClickUp, Trello, Monday, Notion, you name it, whether you're using your CRM and your central task manager, which you shouldn't be, I always label every task and project in the system as which department it's under. And it's sometimes just one department. Very often it's multiple departments. If you're talking about a marketing automation, that's a marketing and operations task. If you're talking about a financial automation, that's a finance and operations task. If you're talking about, you have to have a conversation with a salesperson, that's a sales task. If you're talking about a conversation about a salesperson's commission, that's a sales and finance task, and so on. So again, everyone in your team starts recognizing which departments they kind of have the most understanding of, and it really does a lot of heavy lifting for your team communications to where so much friction magically goes away because you're organizing the work in this universal system. Last big secret I'll leave you here with, because I always want to reward you for sticking with me till the end, is that there's a pseudo 6th department called leadership. And when we get into the organizational chart lesson where you will learn how to construct an organized diagram of where your team is now and where it's going to be as per the vision, you will learn there is a horizontal line that chops the org chart in half horizontally, delineating leadership as those above the line. Anything that is particular to those people and should not be shared with other team members below that line fits in a 6th pseudo department. You can call it leadership. You can call it a cute code name like XL for executive leadership team, whatever. And this is not a secret thing. Your company should know there is a leadership circle. And it is the only type of power hierarchy that we delineate, period. Triple S framework, leadership and non-leadership. Other than that, there's no seniority and there's no inferiority in our framework. You'll understand how that works in the next lesson.